President Uhuru Kenyatta yesterday chaired Jubilee parliamentary group meeting after a very long time. And that meeting was attended by the Deputy President William Samoei Ruto and over 200 members of parliament. And according to the communications which was issued by Council Aden or State House, that meeting was actually a Jubilee coalition parliamentary group meeting. And during that meeting, a lot of things happened. Aden Duale, who was expected to be kicked out, survived. Benjamin Washiali, the majority whip, was kicked out and replaced by Emmanuel Wangwe. Cecil Mbarire was also kicked out and replaced by one of Keleweke co-members, Mauka Maure. And according to those who were in that meeting, it was tense. The member of parliament, the Kimilili member of parliament, Didmas Baraza, had to say this. Let me just quote what he said. The meeting went on with the 3 AK-47 on the table. We tried to lift our hands, but the chairman gave us a blind eye. So that's how Kimilili member of parliament, Didmas Baraza, described the tone of that meeting. And if you listened to Aden Duale and Caleb Kositany, they were interviewed yesterday by Citizen TV. And by the way, I've started liking Caleb Kositany. He's very articulate. The only thing is that he's late in articulating some of these issues. But if you listen to that interview, which was conducted on Citizen TV, it's like these two gentlemen attended 2 different meetings. Caleb Kositany was very clear that he attended the first Jubilee parliamentary group meeting after the August election. But this one, which was conducted yesterday, cannot qualify to be called Jubilee parliamentary group meeting. The president came to that meeting and dressed down the members of parliament. According to sources, when the president arrived, the first person who was given a chance to speak was the Secretary General, Raphael Tuju. And Tuju spoke very briefly for around 3 minutes. Then he handed over to William Ruto. William Ruto also spoke for another 4 or 3 minutes. And I want to give credit where it's due. The deputy president was present during that Jubilee parliamentary group meeting. Just a few weeks ago, it's on record that while the president was mobilizing senators to attend a Jubilee parliamentary group meeting at the same State House, the deputy president was on the opposite side. He was actually mobilizing senators not to attend that meeting. But yesterday, he gathered the courage and he was there. And for that, I think the deputy president is a courageous man. But he spoke for only 4 or 3 minutes. Then after that, it was the turn for the president. And according to those who are there, the president simply gave the members of parliament good lecture. But we don't want to go into the details of what happened in that meeting. But we can see already the effect or the impact of that meeting. After that meeting, Aden Duale thanked the president for saving him. And in his interview with the Citizen TV, it was clear that Aden Duale has either decided to play balls or he has completely decided to dump the deputy president William Samoei Ruto. And during that entire interview, he didn't mention the name the Deputy President William Ruto, even where he was making reference to Jubilee party leadership. And none other than Caleb Kositany actually noticed this, and reminded Duale that he realized that Duale had actually changed tone and has not mentioned the word William Ruto or the Deputy President in the entire interview. And Aden Duale also, in return, referred him to the 48 laws of power. But why is Aden Duale changing the tune? Before we go into that, just like I predicted yesterday, that Emmanuel Wangwe, who was appointed the majority whip, was going to move very fast and effect some changes at the National Assembly. And today, Moses Kuria, Kimani Ichungwa, Joyce Korir, the lady from Bomet, Robert Pokeshe, I think the Endembes member of parliament, and Colonel Serem were issued with letters. Let me read for you the content of the letter from the majority whip to Moses Kuria. So it says, notice of discharge from parliamentary committee. The letter is dated today. Remember, this guy took office yesterday. Just the same way Ichungwa Kenyatta took office that day, then the next day he started acting. So he's writing a letter. Notice of discharge from parliamentary committees. The above mentioned matter refers, pursuant to Standing Orders 176/1, 176/1, and 176/2, you are hereby notified that the Jubilee Party, which nominated you, intends to discharge you from the Transport, Public Works, and Housing Committee. You are hereby given 7 days to respond before you are discharged from the said committee. Honorable Emmanuel Wangwe, the majority whip, the National Assembly. So kazi imeanza already. So Moses Kuria, Kimani Ichungwa, and the group are the first victim. So the question is, why should the president target these guys immediately? Very simple. The first thing is loyalty all over is always rewarded. Moses Kuria, Kimani Ichungwa have been disloyal to the president. So they must be punished. In return, the Team Kileweke people who have been loyal to the president are going to be rewarded. Just like you saw Emmanuel Wangwe taking over from Ben Washiali. Smoothly, Emmanuel Wangwe is a key player in Kileweke. You can clearly see Cecil Mbarire, who was nominated by the president after she failed in her bid to become the governor of Embu, was nominated as a member of parliament. So the president instead has decided to elevate Moka Maure. Moka Maure has been a key player in Kileweke. So basically the president is now rewarding the Team Kileweke. Then you go, number two, the second reason why these guys are being punished is to send a message to members of parliament about the kind of politics the president intends to pursue from that day. So if it's BBI, the president is telling these people that Moses Kuria was supposed to BBI, he has gone. Kimani Ichungwa is supposed to BBI, he's gone. The other thing is maybe these people are being punished for standing with the deputy president. And the people who have been opposing the DP fiercely, like Moka Maure, are being rewarded. Let us wait and see the kind of people who are going to be nominated to take over some of these roles. Some of these committees are very powerful. And number three, I think the president has an agenda which he wants to pursue in parliament. And he believes Ichungwa, Moses Kuria, Joyce Korir, and the rest are not going to help him realize that. Probably they are going to oppose. So the president has decided to remove them. But now, what about Aden Duale? Aden Duale was retained. But immediately he was retained, those who followed him closely, Aden Duale is kind of has dumped the deputy president. The reports in the media, which was captured on the Star newspaper and the Daily Nation, indicates that the person who helped save Aden Duale was the deputy president, William Ruto. That before the president entered into the meeting, he was seen with the deputy president outside the tent discussing. And Aden Duale was invited later and joined them, and they discussed. And some of the people believe, those who are present, that that particular meeting is what saved Aden Duale. But I know, if you ask me, Aden Duale was saved by close allies of President Uhuru Kenyatta. David Murathe played a key role in Aden Duale being saved. And probably that's why Aden Duale has changed tune. The speaker played a key role in convincing the president to retain Aden Duale. So probably the president and the deputy president met and just discussed Aden Duale. The president informed him, I'm not going to remove this guy. And probably that explains why the president told the gathering that his father taught him one thing, that sometimes you don't have to use your sword. You just draw it, unatoa bakora, then you just return it. You don't have to use it. So probably that's the message he was sending. But why the change of tune from Aden Duale? In my view, three only. We all know, number one, that politics is about interest. So where will Aden Duale's interest be served best? Is it by being seen to be close to the president or being seen to be close to the deputy president? I want to ask you. So Aden Duale has always tried to be neutral. Not in tanga and not in kileweke. But yesterday, the president, because he was present, he heard what the president said. And he now knows that for him to survive, politics is about interest. For him to survive, he must toe the line so that his interest can be served. So basically, in short, Aden Duale has changed tune because of his personal interest. I've always maintained here that politics is all about personal interest. Number two, I think Aden Duale has also figured out, where am I safe? Am I safe serving the president, or am I safe being with the deputy president? The fact of the matter is the majority leader can be very loyal to the president now. Then towards the end of parliament, then he can now shift to the deputy president. Because we all know that indeed Aden Duale's heart is with the DP. But I also know that when it comes to the constitutional change, Aden Duale has been making certain recommendations which actually is totally different from what the DP has been proposing. And lastly, I think Aden Duale also read the mood of the president and realized that the president this time around is serious. This guy si mchezo. So Aden Duale basically has decided now to toe the line of the president. So let us wait and see how things are going to unfold from the 7 days. If the moment the 7 days are going to lapse, then after that, let us wait and see. Because there's even the story that the deputy president and the deputy president and his boss are actually trying to mend fences. 7 days will be enough for us to do that. But I also want to dispute all those. Because look at it. Yesterday, while the president was chairing Jubilee parliamentary group meeting, He was also ensuring that at the Senate, a Kalenjin was being appointed as the deputy speaker. This is a seat which was taken from the Meru community. So the president decided, let that seat now go to the people of Rift Valley. Remember, the majority leader, Kipchumba Murkomen, was removed. Who took over? Pogisho from Rift Valley. Susan Kihika went as a majority whip. Her place was taken by Irungu Kangata, another Kikuyu. The two are Kikuyus. But how come the majority, the deputy speaker, which was being held by the Meru, are now being given to Kalenjins? What is the president's game plan with that post? Simple. Gideon Moi factor. I think the president is keen on elevating Gideon Moi. You can only elevate Gideon Moi by giving platform to the people who support it. The mere fact that Margaret Kamar voted to kick out Kipchumba Murkomen and has been rewarded. And the sources are clear that the person who convinced her was Gideon Moi. So it's just that simple. Gideon Moi factor. So the president is keen on elevating Gideon Moi. I think number two, the president is also keen on trying to appeal to the people of Rift Valley. He's telling them that, look here, we are Menda, but still, I still have you as part of my plan. So that Rift Valley factor. And then lastly, is just to target the DP. Nothing can explain why the president can decide to remove a key ally of the deputy president, Kipchumba Murkomen, from office. Then after removing Kipchumba Murkomen from office, then the president then decides to go to Rift Valley to get someone who is not close ally of the DP and lands on Margaret Kamar. Then from Margaret Kamar, not any other place, this is the member of parliament, this is the senator representing the deputy president at the National Assembly or at the Senate. So what was he telling? Basically, he's telling the DP, I'm targeting you and there's nothing you can do. Now nimeleta hii vita mpaka kwako. So let us also wait and see how all these things are going to unfold. But I can assure you that the president is keen on using the National Assembly and the Senate to achieve a political objectives. Whether that objective is the BBI, the referendum, or even just to manage the country to achieve his legacy is something we can't tell as at now. Thank you guys for watching. And if you're bumping on this video for the first time, I want you to take a second or two and hit the subscribe button so that next time we produce a video like this, you get notified. Thank you guys, and please may you have a good day.